Hi guys, I'm Lisa and I'm going to take you through your Pilates class today. So as usual, you don't need any equipment, just your mat. So just, if you don't have a mat, just open your hands out wide left and right and just do a twirl from left to right just to make sure there's nothing around that you could knock or hit during the class, okay? Once you're set up then, what I'll get you to do is just stand to the middle of your mat and we're going to spread our feet about shoulder width apart. Turn your big toes out, roll your shoulders back and bring your hands out in front of your chest. We're going to do some squats to start. So what you're going to do, open your knees out, open the bony parts of the bum out, sit down and stand back up. And we'll do it again. Knees open out, bony parts of the bum open out and stand it up. Now don't worry if you're not going as low as me. Go as low as feels good for your body. Just making sure your thigh bones are rolling outwards as you lower and the bony parts of the bum open out and down and then they come back up. We'll go for another 3, for 2, and then last one, go down about halfway to whatever depth you are going. So just about halfway and hold it there. Knees are turned out, big toes are turned out. From here, we're going to keep those hands out in front. We're going to inhale, raise the arms up, lean our body back, and then exhale, fold our body forward. Staying in that squat all the time. Inhale, hands up, lean back, and exhale, curl forward. We're going to go for 5. Inhale up, exhale down. For 4, and 3, take your eye focus with you, lifting your breastbone up, and then lowering it to the ground. Last 2, and then last one, extend, and stand up. Pop the hands on the hips. You can just rock the hips out a little bit. Keep your feet where they are. Just make sure they're still in line, that they haven't slipped on your mat. Big toes still turned out. Hands out in front of the chest, we're going to go back down into that squat. So those knees will open out wide. Spread your toes, plant your feet into your mat. We're going to bring our left elbow to the inside of our left knee. Big inhale, exhale, reach that right arm up. Inhale down. Exhale, sweep it up and inhale down. We're going to go for 5. For 4, follow that hand with your gaze. For 3, let your shoulder move. Shoulder to center, shoulder opens out. Last 2. And then last one. Bring that right elbow to the inside of your right knee. You're still pressing your left knee out. Big inhale, exhale, reach the arm up. And inhale down. Reach. And inhale down. We'll go for 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. And last one. Hands to center and stand up. Just roll the shoulders away. Now from here, bring your hands together and bring them to center. Keep rolling the shoulders back. Keep your collarbone and chest open, so try not to curl over here. Everything stays nice and upright. From there, your feet stay where they are. We're going to go into a squat. We're going to touch the mat with our hands. So drop down, touch, and back up. Now your goal, as you lower into your squat, is to keep the upper body upright, the chest open, the collarbone open, and the shoulders down the back. If you find when you get tired here that the body starts to slouch forward or round up, take a second at the top, roll back, and go again. We're going for another 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. Keep your eye focus up. Last one, go down, hold it there. Hands stay down, roll the shoulders back, chest is up. From here, I'm going to move my hips over to the left. Keep the hips balanced, bring it over to the right. And again. Now keep your chest open, keep the collarbone open. Just move the hips, they're staying in a straight line, just gliding left to right. We'll go for 5, for 4, and 3, last 2, and last 1. Stand it up, roll the shoulders away. From there then, we're going to bring ourselves down onto the mat. So bring yourself down on the mat, have your heels close to your bum, have about a tennis ball distance between your feet and your knees. You can keep your hands on your knees then and slowly lower yourself down onto the mat. Turn and face your palms towards the ceiling, roll your shoulders back and let your chest and your shoulders relax down. Now you can turn your hands back down and just let them work as little anchors to help you up. Make sure the heels are really close to your bum before we take off. We're going to do some shoulder bridge. You're going to inhale, Roll your hips to your belly button so your low back plants on the mat. As you exhale, stand into your feet. Let your hips lift up. Let your spine roll up. Hold it at the top. Take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to melt down. Now you're going to roll through your spine coming down. One disc at a time, peel it back onto the mat. When you get to the bottom, take an inhale. Roll the hips to the belly button. And then exhale, you're going to roll back up. One disc at a time. When you're at the top, have your chest a little heavier than you think it should be before rolling back down. So we don't want any arching in the upper spine or lower spine. So we keep our chest heavy to avoid that arching in the upper spine. And we keep our bum switched off to avoid any tension in the low back. So as much as possible, relax your bum. Let the backs of the thighs do a little bit more of the work. Try and keep your hips steady as you roll to the top by standing down evenly into both feet. And as you roll back down, you want both hips to travel down together. So you're really going to have to focus to control that lowering down. We're going to go for 3 more. Exhale down. Big inhale at the bottom. Exhale to the top. Inhale at the top. Exhale to the bottom. Last one. Exhale to the top. Hold it there. Now your hips are balanced. Your chest is relaxed. What we're going to do from here, bring your right foot onto your left knee. So you're going to pop the foot up and turn that opposite knee out. Okay, so your hips are still balanced. Hips are up. You've got your right foot on your left knee turned out, and the hips still balanced. From here, take an inhale. Exhale, you're going to roll down and melt through your spine. All the way down, evenly through center. Still at the bottom, take an inhale. Roll the hips to the belly button. Exhale, back up you go. Now try to keep your knees in line as you move up and down, and try to keep those hips balanced. So you're not dipping into that right hip bone. Hips completely balanced here. Exhaling still to the top, exhaling to the bottom, with an inhale at the top and an inhale at the bottom, just for a bit of recovery. Last one. And down. You can place that foot down. Make sure it's just about a tennis ball distance from the other foot. Spread the toes, plant the foot into the mat, and then from there take an inhale. Exhale, up to the top you go. Now at the top, left foot comes onto the right knee. Knees stay in line, hips stay balanced. Big inhale. Exhale, roll down evenly through the left and right side of the spine. Plant your bum. Big inhale, hips to the belly button. Exhale to the top. Inhale at the top. And then exhale, rolling down. And in your own time working through this, with that challenge on the stability of the hips, you've one hip externally rolling as the other hip is just in neutral. So there's a big challenge on those hips. So if there is a lot of wobbling and shaking, I want you to just work a little harder, maybe a little slower, just to find that balance. We only have 3 to go. And 2. And then go for your last one. And roll all the way down. Place that foot back down next to the other one. Have that little bit of distance between your feet and your knees. And then from there, we're going to roll to the top. Both feet connected to your mat. Hold it at the top. Now your hips are completely balanced this time. So just pop your hands on your hips, make sure that they're balanced there. Bum is switched off. From there, drop both hips an inch. Lift an inch. Drop and lift. We're going to go for 6, for 5, really open out those hips at the top, for 4, and 3, last 2, and then go last one, and then melt to the bottom. You give your knees a little hug in towards the chest, and give yourself a little baby rock from side to side. Okay, from here. We're going to do some leg circles next. So you can lengthen your left leg straight out and place your hand onto your left hip. You can bring your right leg into tabletop, which is just knee over the hip, shin in line with your mat, okay? From here, you're going to keep your left hip as steady as can be while we mobilize that right leg. So you want to focus on the movement of your thigh bone. So the thigh bone is going to come towards me. It's going to go out the side, down around to the front, across my body, and then back around over the hip. So when we're doing leg circles, it's a hip mobility move. And basically what it means is how well can you move your thigh bone in your hip socket. So that's all we're testing here. So don't worry if it's a really small move, just do what your body can. And if you're doing it, maybe you've done a lot of Pilates classes before, or the hips feel really good, you could try this with a straight leg. That's going to make it a lot more challenging, as it adds the hamstring in as well. You can always stay in tabletop if that feels better with you. Now for the breath, I like to exhale as I go around and inhale as I come back. And then after this next one, we're going to reverse the circle. So take it the other way around. Still keep the breath just as long. I would still exhale as I go around and inhale as I come back to center. Still focusing on the movement of your thigh bone in your hip socket. Keeping that breath super long. We have another 3 to go. And 2. And then when you're ready, go for your last one. Once you've finished, extend that right leg out. Place your hand on the right hip instead this time, and left leg comes to tabletop. So again, focusing on the movement of the thigh bone, keeping the right hip steady as we go around. So we'll start by bringing the thigh bone towards us, out the side, down around the front, across the other side and back. Again, you might like to exhale as you go around and inhale as you come back to center. And again, you can always do this with a straight leg if the body is feeling really good today. And if the hips are feeling really good today, go for that straight leg. Otherwise, we're staying tabletop. So if you find that your right hip is really shaking as you move around with the left, just go a little smaller with your circle or a little slower. The opposite hip will shake if we're maybe taking a little bit too far for the mobility of your hips. When you're ready, then we'll reverse it. And still keep that breath just as long. Now, when you reverse it, it might go a little bit smaller for the first few repetitions, but try to build up and do the same size circle that you did in the other direction. We'll go for another 3 this time. And 2. And then go for your last one. And then place that foot down. Okay, well done. So, what we can do from here is move on to a little bit of ab work next. So what you're going to do, bring both legs into tabletop. So that's just knees over the hips, shins in line with your mat. If during this sequence you find it hard to hold the legs in this position, if your hips are really tight, your knees can come closer to your chest and your heels go down to your bum. So you still keep your feet off the ground, you just bring those knees a little closer to the chest and drop the feet down. That'll take off any pressure that you have in the hips, okay? Otherwise we can stay in tabletop here. From here, take your hands behind your head and have those elbows out wide. Now what we're going to do, just like doing a sit-up, we'll do an exhale as we curl up. And I really want you to think the only reason you're going to lift up is because you're shortening your core. So ribs moving to the hips, that's why we lift up. So from here, nice big inhale. As you exhale, tuck your chin in, round out your upper spine, lift the head, neck and shoulders up, look at your belly button. Inhale, release back and rest your head. Then big exhale, curling to the top. Big inhale, releasing it back. Exhale, lifting up. And and inhale, releasing back. Super. We'll go for 4 like this, ribs to hips, and then separating ribs and hips. Exhale as we go to the top, and inhale as we go down. Really scoop your shoulders up to support your neck and head. And then our last one, we're going to go up, we're going to hold it up there. Elbows are wide. Now from here, what we're going to do is, it's called marching with our legs, okay? So you're going to stay up in flexion, so head, neck and shoulders stay up. What we're going to do is inhale, lower our right foot down. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale, left foot down. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Going for 5, for 4, and 3. Last 2, and last 1. Legs to tabletop, drop the head, neck and shoulders down. Take a few deep breaths. So our next exercise is going to be just a continuation on of the last one. What we're going to do is place your right foot down, then the left foot down, and then one up and one up. Okay, so it's going to be just a little bit faster and just a little bit more challenging. So again, nice big inhale. As you exhale, curl to the top, hold it there. We're going to lower the right foot, the left foot, right up, right down, right up, left up. Find your breath. Big inhales and big exhales. 2 more. Right down, right up, left up. Right down, right up, left up. Now opposition, we have to do it in the other direction. Left, right, left, right. Left down first, right, left, right. Left, right, left, right. 3 more. And 2. Keep those head, neck and shoulders up. And last one. And then drop the head, neck and shoulders down. Give your knees a little hugging towards the chest. And give yourself a little baby rock from side to side. Okay, so what we're doing, we're progressing through the exercise. So we've just done marching, placing our feet down. The next time we're going to go for lengthening the legs out. If at any point it gets too difficult for you, take it back to the last exercise we did. So you can stay with marching, you can stay with tapping and lifting, or you can continue on to the next exercise we're going to do if you're feeling good. So hands behind the head, elbows out wide, legs to tabletop. Nice big inhale. As you exhale, we're going to curl up, we're going to hold it there. This time I'm going to lengthen my right leg all the way down, leave it on the mat. Lengthen my left leg down, leave it on the mat. Tabletop and tabletop. Right leg out, left leg out, right leg up, left leg up. You're keeping the head, neck and shoulders up as you do this exercise, looking at your belly button. We have another 3 to go. And 2. And last 1. And now the opposite way. Left first, right, left, right. Left, right, left, right. For 4. Keep the head, neck and shoulders up. For 3. Look at that belly button, move your ribs to your hips. For 2. And last 1. Leave the legs out there. From here we're going to pulse. Ribs to hips, ribs to hips, ribs to hips. For 8. 7. Point your toes forward. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And last 1. Release back. Bring your knees in towards your chest. And give yourself a little baby rock from side to side. Oh, so the core should be fairly warm now. I know my upper abdominals are pretty warm there. So we're just going to work a little bit more towards those lower abdominals now as well. So again, we're going to take the hands behind the head, bring those legs up into tabletop and stick the inner thighs together, the feet together. Just keep the legs nice and active. From here, nice big inhale. As you exhale, we're going to curl to the top, we're going to hold it up there. Now take both hands and take them behind your left knee and reach your right leg forward. Big inhale, exhale, switch the legs. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. Going for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Knees in and rest down. A little rock from side to side. Okay. Now we're just going to do double leg stretch. So similar to the last one, except we're going to go both legs. So bring the legs up to tabletop when you're ready. We're going to start with the hands up this time. You're going to take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, you're going to curl to the top, hold it there. From there, what we're going to do, take your hands to your shins, draw those knees in towards your chest. Big inhale, exhale, reach the legs out, reach the arms out. Inhale, draw back in. Exhale, reach it out. Now, the lower you go with the legs, the harder this will be. You can always just reach up over the hips if that feels better for you. Lower down is harder. We're going for 6, for 5, for 4, and 3, last 2, and last 1. Legs in, drop the head, neck and shoulders down, and just a little baby rock from left to right. Okay, from there, what we're going to do, you can rock the hips back and then rock yourself up to seated, and then we're going to stand towards the end of our mat. So what you want to do, stand with your feet about hip distance apart. Make sure the feet are in line, roll your shoulders back. Now what we're going to do, we're going to do a Pilates plank, which is 3 steps out with your hands until you're in a plank position, and then 3 steps back. For the first repetition, I'm going to go out into a plank and then I'm just going to talk to you about the plank before walking back, okay? So feel free to drop to your knees if you need to modify for the plank. We keep our legs perfectly straight for this sequence, or as straight as your body will allow. Keeping the legs straight, I walk my hands down. 1, 2, 3. Now I hold my plank. My hands are ever so slightly forward of my shoulders. I spread my fingers and I actively push the mat away from me so my shoulders are nice and supported. I'm scooping my tummy up, sending my front ribs up towards my back ribs. And if you find you get a bit of arching in the low back whenever you do a plank, you could squeeze the muscles in your bum. I focus to the front of your mat. Now, keeping your legs straight, we're going to walk back. 1, 2, 3. I keep my hands at my feet, I keep my legs straight, I roll my body up. When I'm at the top, I roll my shoulders away, and then I'll do it again. Walk the hands down. 1, 2, 3. Hold your plank. If you're someone who has any injuries in the wrists or weaknesses or tightnesses in the wrists, you can always roll up the front of your mat and have your hands on that for a bit of extra support for those wrists. From here then, walk back. 1, 2, 3, and scoop to the top. Roll the shoulders away. We'll do that again. Walk out. 1, 2, 3, hold. Make sure you're pushing into those hands. I focus forward. Front ribs up to meet the back ribs, back nice and straight. And when you're ready, walk it back. 1, 2, 3. Scoop to the top, roll the shoulders away. 2 more. Walk out. 1, 2, 3, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk back. 1, 2, 3. Roll to the top, roll the shoulders away. Last one, we're going to go out, walking with straight legs, out to the plank, and hold it there. Now from here, we're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop your knees down, flatten your feet to the back, and then sit your bum back to your heels, and reach your hands forward. If you need a little bit more space to sink down, you can put your feet together and spread your knees a little bit wider. That'll help you get your bum closer to your heels, and your chest can sink down a little further then. Long, deep breaths. Inhaling through the nose, and exhaling out the mouth. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rock yourself back forward, and then lie yourself down on the mat. So from here, what we're going to do is take one hand over the other. Elbows are nice and wide. I'm going to switch on my legs to the back, so I'm going to squeeze the muscles in my bum, squeeze the muscles in my quads, and point my toes. So fronts of the thighs, squeeze them, backs of the thighs if you can squeeze them, calves, feet, everything is completely switched on and really, really active. By having my legs super active, I'm pushing my hips down to the mat a little bit more forcefully. And that's what I want. I want your hips down to the back mat just to protect your low back a little bit, okay? If you don't feel the hips down with the legs switched on, go wider with your knees to the back, okay? From there, keep those legs switched on. Place one hand over the other. Place your forehead down onto your hands. Now what we're going to do, a bit of extension. So I'm going to inhale. It's going to be like I'm nodding my head up, saying yes. And I'm going to lift my head, my shoulders, my chest. So when you're ready, inhale, lift up, elbows stay wide, exhale, back down. Then again, inhale, lift up, exhale, back down. Now, if you're someone who's tight in the shoulders, as you inhale and lift up, make sure those shoulders are away from the ears. Exhale, back down. And again, inhale up, and exhale down. Keep those legs switched on. Last 3. Last 2. And then last 1. Hold. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. You can let the legs relax for a second. Take a few deep breaths. From here then, take your hands to the sides of your chest and spread your fingers nice and wide. You can rest your head down to the mat and switch those legs on again. So squeezing all the muscles in the legs, the bum, pointing the toes. Now from here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to extend up just as I was doing the last exercise, and I'm going to push my hands into the mat as I do and try to lengthen my arms. So give that nod up with an inhale, nod the head up, lift the chest, the shoulders, down the back, and extend and release. Now you might not fully extend the arms the first time, don't panic. You can go about halfway just as I'm doing here, and then back down. Every time you go up, see if you can go a little further. Keep those shoulders away from the ears, collarbone open. Inhale as you go up, and exhale as you come down. We're going to go for 4. And 3. Last 2. And then last 1. Shoulders down the back, lift that breastbone up, eye focus up, and hold it here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release back down. Curl your toes under. Press into your hands, lift up onto the knees. And then what you do, flatten your feet again, reach the hands forward and sink your head and your chest. This time we're keeping the bum up high in the sky. We're opening out the bony parts of the bum to the wall behind us. And we're letting our spine lengthen down forward. Our arms are reaching forward, right the way through from the bottom of your spine to the tip of your head. You're lengthening. Your breastbone is pressing down to the mat. And breathe and be here for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring yourself back up into that table position. Now from here, what you can do, have your hands ever so slightly forward of your shoulders, feet are flat to the back and knees under the hips. From here, take an inhale, tuck your chin in, round out your upper spine, tuck your tailbone under. As you exhale, release the tailbone out, open your breastbone up towards the sky, open the collarbone, and then inhale, scoop and curl up, and then exhale, release it all out. Inhale, looking at the belly button, rounding out those shoulders, and then freeing them up and releasing. Going for another 3, for 2, and then go for your last 1, and then you can release. We can slowly bring ourselves up to standing, and you can stand, roll your shoulders away, have your feet just about hip distance apart, take a big inhale, arms go up overhead, and then exhale, fold your body forward, let your hands come down towards your feet. Sink your head between your shoulders, sink your chest towards your thighs. Shake your head no. And then just let your head hang down really heavy. From here, take your right elbow in your left hand, your left elbow in your right, and then bring the elbows to the outside of your right knee, and then bring them to the outside of your left knee. And just swing the body from left to right, easing out the hips, the low back. You can pause and center then, let your hands come down to your feet, let your head sink down again. Now what you want to do is spread your toes and start lengthening your legs. Once your legs are as straight as you can get them, you can gently start to roll up. Peel your spine up, keeping your arms and head really, really heavy. They'll be the last things to come up. Just float that spine up, one disc at a time. When you get to the top, roll your shoulders away. Take a big inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale out and around. And last big breath up and out. You're all done. Well done.